Alright students, so we are now going to start with the magnetic field of Earth. So next concept is the magnetic field of Earth. Now why we are here understanding the concept of the magnetic field of Earth, why this concept came into existence? Because there are some evidences which proves that the Earth also has its magnetic field. Now, what are those evidences? Let us just point them out. The first evidence is a freely suspended magnet. A freely suspended magnet always, this is an important word, always rests in geographical north-south direction. Now, they always point in geographical north-south direction. It is not pointing in east-west direction or other direction. It always points in geographical north-south direction. It means that magnet is always affected by some other thing, and that thing is the magnetic field of Earth. That we'll discuss in detail. So we'll discuss this thing in detail. Alright. Now, the second is that an iron piece buried under the earth gets magnetized. Now, this is the other proof that if we bury an iron piece few meters down the earth, then it will get magnetism, but the strength of magnetism is very, very less, low strength. But since there is this property of magnetism, now what has created the magnetism? It is because of the earth magnetic field that has magnetized that iron piece. That is the second evidence. The third evidence is the formation of neutral points. Formation of neutral points. Now, what are the neutral points? Neutral points, they are the places where there is no effect of the magnetic field, or we can say the magnetic field becomes zero. Now, why this magnetic fields become zero for a magnet? Because there is some opposing magnetic field which is going to be entering into that magnetic field of Earth, and it cuts or it cancels the net effect. Now, this point is also very important, and this we'll discuss in detail. Just for one thing, there is the neutral points. Neutral means there is no magnetic field present over there. So, we'll discuss this point in detail in the further part of the chapter. Next thing is about the magnetic needle. Magnetic needle makes various angles when placed at different places on Earth. So if we take the magnetic needle and place it into the various positions in the entire globe, what we'll say, it will not be always pointing towards the north-south direction. It always makes some angles. It always changes its angle. So it means it is also affected by some other thing, as this thing do not gives a unique answer. It always gives a various angle. So we cannot say that this is the specific direction where the needle will point. So the direction, if the angle is going to be changed, so it means it is continuously being affected by something, and that thing is the Earth's magnetic field. So these are the evidences which proves that there is some magnetic field of the Earth also, which helps in this suspension, which helps in creating the magnetism, helps in plotting the neutral points, and the reason for the formation of the variety of the angles at each and every place on the globe. So these are the various points which helps us to conclude that the magnetic field of Earth exists. Alright, so now we'll discuss first this point in detail and these 2 points then in detail. This we are also going to be doing in the further part. Alright, so now we'll be starting with the freely suspended magnet. Alright, so now we are starting with the first point, that a freely suspended magnet rests in geographical north-south direction. Alright. So if we are drawing the structure of the earth, then this is going to be like this. So here we will say there is geographical north, here is the geographical south. Alright, so geographical north over here, geographical south over this side. Now the thing is, if we suspend a magnet, like this, it will rest in some direction, in some north-south direction. Now we'll have to see whether this is north or this is south. It has been observed that the magnetic pole of the earth is at the opposite sides. Means where there is geographical north, there is magnetic south. So here, somewhere here is the magnetic south pole. So let me write it down in clear. This is magnetic south pole. It has been said that towards the geographical north is the magnetic south pole of the earth, and towards the geographical south there is the magnetic north pole. Alright. So this is the magnetic north pole towards geographical south and magnetic south pole towards the geographical north. And these things behave like a giant magnet. Alright. So this thing, it behaves as a giant magnet which is placed inside the earth. Alright. So this is the magnetic south pole and this is the magnetic north pole. Alright. Now if this is the magnet, the south pole will attract the north pole towards itself. So as a result of which, this bar magnet will be like in this direction. This south pole of the earth will attract the north pole towards itself, and this north pole will repel this north pole to move away. So this north pole is moving away and is attracted towards the south pole. That is why this bar magnet is always rests in north-south direction like this. Alright, this is because of the effect of this giant magnet which is placed inside the earth. Alright, so it is always because of this giant magnet that is having the magnetic south pole and magnetic north pole. These are the magnetic poles of earth, or known as earth's magnetic pole. Alright, these are the geographical poles, these are the magnetic poles. South will attract the north pole will repel the north pole, and it will always rest in this unique position, that is the north-south direction. Alright, so this was the reason that a freely suspended magnet, it always rests in geographical north-south direction, and here is the proof. Alright. So this was all about this part. Now we'll discuss why it makes the magnetic needle makes the various angles when placed at the different places around the earth.